Hello there. Welcome to this short case study about how we got 1,308 leads for a psychiatrist in Miami, Florida for $22.59 a lead. My name is Keith Carpenter, and I've been using advertising to grow businesses since 2008. And recently, due to this emergence of telemedicine, this whole industry that's emerging, we've been working with more and more medical professionals to help them get a steady flow of new telemedicine leads, not only at a low and profitable cost per lead, but also exclusively to their practice, not shared with anyone else. So before we hop right into this case study, I want to let you know who this is for. Essentially, if you're a psychiatrist or you're a psychologist or you're a counselor, really any medical professional who offers telemedicine, who is looking to grow your practice and interested in new ways to get affordable quality leads into your practice, then this case study will show you what's possible. Let's hop right into the ad account and I'll break it down for you. Okay, here we are inside of the ad account. This is for the psychiatrist in Miami. We're just targeting Miami right now. And basically, this is kind of the breakdown of the, kind of the big KPIs, if you will. 29,000, almost 30,000 in ad spend, $5.16 a click, 105,000 impressions, and just over 5,700 clicks onto the offer, okay? Meaning the sales page, the offer, the page that converts them into a lead, right? So let's click over here on campaigns and let's go down and we're going to see we have two campaigns going, okay? And one is local, so somebody looking for a local psychiatrist, and then this one is online. Someone that's actually searching specifically for an online psychiatrist, okay? And when you get to the landing page for this particular offer, it's very clear that it's not a in-person thing, and so that's relevant because when we look at the cost per lead isn't much off. You know, it's pretty close in both of these campaigns, which is interesting, right? Because people that are looking for a local psychiatrist are open to telemedicine, right? More and more people are open to it. We have plenty of stats. We'll share more information with you guys about where the industry is going and where it's heading. We're doing a lot of compilation of data for this industry because it's definitely emerging quickly. So these are the two campaigns. You can see we have a budget right here, $180 a day in this campaign, $60 a day in this campaign. And we have the optimization scores that we're constantly working on. We have the campaign type, which is search. And then we have the amount of clicks that came in from each of these campaigns. So 3,848 from the local and 1,880 clicks for a total of 5,728 clicks. This is the amount of impressions that each campaign got. And this is interesting. And it makes sense, right? Click-through rate, right? 4.24% for the local and 13.3% for the people that were actually searching for telemedicine, online medicine, right? So very interesting. The conversion, the click-through rate rather, is three times as high, more than three times higher. And why is that? That's because these people were searching for exactly what he sells, right? These people, some of them are looking to go sit down, have a cup of coffee, if it's psychiatry or counseling, and they want to be there in the room, in the space with somebody, right? So it makes sense that the click-through rate would be much higher because it's a market to message match type of thing, okay? Then we have the average cost per click, $5.19 for the local and $5.09 for the online. So not a big discrepancy there in cost per click. And then we have the total ad spend for each of those campaigns so far for a total of $29,000. And we have a couple different bid strategies going on here that we've been, playing with, seeing what's working. Then we have the conversion rate, right? Very interesting. 23.49% conversion rate on the local and 21.49% conversion on the online, right? So even though the click-through rate was three times higher here, it didn't equate to a three times higher conversion rate here on this end, right? And the reason for that is because these people that clicked through here at this 4.2%, the other, let's say the other 9% that, that's shy of this 13, those people didn't want online, so they didn't click. So it makes sense that these people made it through, they knew what they were getting into, and then the conversion rate ends up being very close, right? I hope that makes sense. But, this kind of filtered out, that's why this click-through rate's so low. It filtered out the people that weren't interested in online, and then boom, it brings them into a conversion situation where it's going to be extremely close to each other because of the fact that they both then knew that they were going for online medicine. Okay. That was a long-winded answer, but I hope I made sense. And then the conversions here, 904 conversions on the local, and then 404 conversions. And then again, the cost per conversion, right? $22.09 on the local, $23.71 on the online campaign, for an average lead cost of $22.59. Okay, so 1,308 leads, $22.59. Now, the question you have to ask yourself, because there's no question whether or not my team can bring you results, can get your phone to ring, can get leads coming in, can bring attention to your offering. And not only that, but also to help you crystallize your message, to help you make sure that your offer is strong, that you're clear about what your customer, how you make their life better, how you will improve their situation by them giving you money. So there's a lot to that, but there's no question about any of that. The big question I have for you is, can you make money at $22 a lead, right? So if you got 100 leads, or let's say 10 leads at $22, $220, and you got 2 sales out of that, right? Which is probably industry average. You know your own numbers, so figure it out. But the question is, could you make money off that, right? Could you make money if you had, if you were paying $100 for a patient? What is the lifetime value of that patient? And then that's the big question. So we know we can get the leads. We know we can bring them into you at a very good cost. We know we can bring those in, but can you make it profitable? If you can, then that's really good news for you, because essentially, if you are looking to grow your practice and you're in a position and the mindset to do that, then we can help you do it, right? It's just a matter of getting it going and getting the phone to ring, have somebody there on the other end to pick it up, and to bring these people on board, have a smooth onboarding process, right? So let's hop back into my presentation. Okay, so now you can see what's possible with ads, right? You can see you can get leads, you can get hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of leads at $20-something a piece, and now you've got to say to yourself, could I make those numbers work, right? It's not a question of, can we get the leads to flow into you every day? It's, can you make those numbers work at $20-something a lead? Does that work for you and your business model? And if it does, then ads are going to be a very big part of you growing and scaling your practice. The key is when the ads are set up properly and when they're ran by a pro, when things are tracked properly to improve a campaign, and when you can actually measure the results you get, right? There's a famous business author, Peter Drucker. He said, what gets measured gets managed, right? Think about that. I'll say it again. What gets measured gets managed. You can't manage something unless you're measuring it, right? So when you're measuring and tracking and seeing what's working, you can improve it to improve your results so that your cost for acquisition, doesn't get out of control. It actually gets better, right? Because of the data that we're bringing in. So if you're interested in learning how we can do this for you, okay, I'd like to invite you to speak with one of our reps. Just fill out the short form, and a rep is going to reach right out to you. Click the button, fill out the form, and we'll even run your ads for free for 30 days, okay? Just to prove to you what's possible. We want you to actually see it, taste it, feel it, right? That's how confident we are in our ability to produce these results. We are willing to run your ads for 30 days for free, right? You pay ad spend, whatever you want to pay per day to run the ads, and then we run the ads for free for you for 30 days. And if that sounds good to you, click the button and request the call, okay? Speak with our rep, get more information, get your questions answered. We'd be happy to talk with you and show you how we can do this for you risk-free for 30 days and get you going, get leads coming in. And typically we have a campaign ready to go within about 7 days. And then as soon as we turn the campaign on, the phone starts ringing. It's not like a long-term thing. It's quick. It takes, not much time. Once your ad's showing at the top of Google for the keywords that we're targeting, you're going to start getting phone calls and leads and all that good stuff, right? So there's not much more that I can say other than click that button and see how we can get affordable, exclusive telemed leads just for you and your practice. Click the button, speak with a rep, and we'll talk with you soon.